sides. That makes this stand out even more so. But you can see that's what's left of our very bad attempt at fluting last time. And you cannot hit that. You gotta get rid of it. So I'm gonna come in here and I'm gonna come in at a steep angle because I don't want to try to pressure flake into that. I just want to get rid of it. You try to pressure flake into that wall, you're just gonna make a whole nother group of step fractures. Most snappers learn that really early on. Step fractures are easy to make and they're hard to get rid of if you try to get rid of them at the same angle you made them. I think if I grind one more round of pressure flakes here, might get me back up to a place where I can get a sturdy enough nipple to try to finish this thing. It's kind of rare for me to spend this much time in a row on one point. I'm going nuts actually. I'm used to trying a piece for 5 or 10 minutes, getting fed up with it or bored with it and putting it down. I usually have like 20 or 30 pieces in the works. So this is way weird for me. I think I lost interest in this piece about 4 minutes in, which was 20, 30 minutes ago. But that last flute over here was so good that it really thinned our base. So this nipple is going to need some special consideration, that's for sure. And if we get it to roll, we're going to have a very authentic looking clovis with respect to the thick or the thinness of the basal region. I mean, I can't think of any other reason why they fluted and thin them out. A lot of the ones I've seen, they did an extraordinary job of getting them thin using the fluting. And that's been pretty tough to replicate. I've only ever made probably 10 or so that I've ruined a side, fluted the other side well, and then come back to do the other side again. So I'm a little inexperienced at this. I'm going to do a couple more guide shots, and then I think, even though I give it about a 50% chance of not going, I think I'm going to go after it. I'm about ready. We'll show you the base before I smack it. It's definitely close to center line, and it's going to be a very thin base if it survives. And that's a really big if. Sure hope it does, because I'd love to have a nice piece to show people about my first video. So let's take a look at that. It's starting to look like a Debert clovis point with those big wolf ears on the base. But there's the nipple. My only fear about that nipple is it's got some little steps on it. So I hope it's not too weak. And it's close to center line. We're really gonna have a fun time hitting it. It's gonna either blow apart, break the whole piece in half, or give me a nice flute. I almost predicted my last one, but that's where I'm thinking it's gonna go this time. Up to about, we'll put a little scratch in it right there. That's where it could go. If it was a little skinnier, it'd be definitely looking like one of them Deberts, which most of the ones I've seen casts of are broken in half. So this one may be a true Debert by the time we're done with it.
Have you ever noticed on the width, if the width makes a difference on how well your flute goes?
The wider the clovis, the easier it is to flute.
Is it?
I think, but we'll see. They're all different. I'm gonna go with a little shorter bopper this time to be a little more accurate. And I really don't think this thing's gonna go very well. But who cares? Hopefully I don't hit an ear. I've done that quite a bit. I just catch one of the ears and I flute the whole edge down to the tip, and it's really ugly. Well, that nipple was a little too weak. Now, the good news is I might be able to salvage that. God, I'm gonna have 3 hours into this piece by the time I'm done. It actually may help me out because it got rid of any of the remnants of that last bad flute. Now I can't say bad flute, you know what I'm talking about, because we've now had 2 bad fluting attempts. They're adding up. This is one of those times when I wish I knew how to do indirect percussion, because to get in here without catching one of them ears, it's going to require that. But oh, I hope I hit the actual nipple. All right, take another look at this. We've now spent 30-40 minutes percussioning this piece down, ruining one side trying to flute it, getting a good flute on one side, and then ruining a nipple trying to reflute the original bad side, turning it into, not that bad of a side, but still ain't pretty. Now I've got huge ears on this clovis point, and we're gonna try to flute it. Hey!
Oh, good. Flute survived too.
Wow! That is not one of my favorite points in the world. I'm very upset with this point for making me spend so much time. But there's at least finally an answer on the internet in the form of a video to people who want to know how I flute stuff. I have days better than this, and I have days a lot worse than this. But this is a piece of dacite from California that we fluted one side once and the other side 3 or 4 times, at least we tried. But in the end, we ended up with a fluted piece, and you can see which one got fluted first, that guy. And then you can see just how much bass we had to sacrifice to get set up to do that second one. But wow, it's gonna look pretty in a Riker case, too nice. The one thing I'm most interested about is why this is rare for me to see these flutes swirl out like that. I wasn't hitting with any different directionality of my energy or my percussion instrument, yet the flutes seem to have really curved, and you know, the thickness they were traveling upon didn't curve. So who knows? Maybe there's just I don't know, something weird going on today. But I have no idea where this piece is going to end up. But we'll see. There we go. The finished product.